Hey guys, welcome back to the GameSpot stage at the final day of E3. I'm Cam Robinson. I'm in my comfortable orange chair, and it's great to be here. I'm going to be sad to leave. Are you going to be sad to leave, Ollie? This is Ollie, by the way, everybody. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks.
How
How
are
are
you
you?
sad to leave E3?
It's been hectic, but I always have a lot of fun when I'm here. It's great to see all the new games coming out and some new IPs as well, and it's pretty exciting times in the games industry.
Yeah,
so,
and speaking of new games, you've
yes.
brought a new game along as well. Why are you at E3? What are you shouting about?
Well, we're here to tell everyone about Hitman Sniper. It's
Okay.
the second game from Square Enix Montreal. We released Hitman Go probably a couple of months ago now, actually.
Yeah.
And Hitman Sniper is the second game that we're doing with the Hitman franchise. Now, the gist of the game is essentially it's a fixed position sniping game.
Yep.
It's leaderboard based, highly competitive, and it's all about how you're kind of creatively killing your marks throughout the scene. So you've got one guy that you've been hired to kill, and
Yep.
the game is based around taking your time to draw out the tension and kill him at exactly the right moment whilst you're building up points around the scene.
Fantastic. Well, let's have a look at we got a teaser trailer, I think, right?
Yeah,
so
we got a
let's
teaser
check
trailer
that
for
out,
you.
and then we can have a look at some actual gameplay after that as well.
Cool, yeah.
Awesome. And this is just to remind people at home, this game is on iOS devices and Android as well, or it will
That's
be when
right.
it comes out.
That's
yeah?
right.
Okay, great. Here we go. All right. That was a very. I feel teased. I feel really teased.
You have been teased, yes.
Well, let's check out the B-roll next, and then we can watch it over, and you can just explain what's going on. What I'm really interested in is how you actively control and interact.
Yeah, sure.
You know,
sure.
with your
Happy to
sniper
take you
rifle
through that.
on a touch device. You know, because I mean,
Yeah.
shooters don't generally shooters in general. Classic shooters don't really
Yeah.
transition that well. I don't think anyway
Yeah.
to touchscreen devices, but because this is fixed position, that's what I'm really interested to see.
That's right. I mean, you can see here, right? We've spent a lot of time on the controls. We iterated on them a lot. You can play the entire game with one hand. It's really
One
important
hand.
that it's very, very accessible for you to get into. So we were using all the kind of gestures and controls you would expect from a touch device. Where you pinch to zoom, you can zoom in and out like that. It's a simple tap to shoot, and there's only two buttons on the screen: the reload on the left and the hold breath on the right, which
the
allows you to
lungs there,
focus
yeah.
in on your mark. So here you've got basically these are the marks guards that are around the scene. This guy's about to light a cigarette. He's probably not going to get that far. There
He's
you
dead.
go. So you're holding breath while you're doing that, so it's all kind of slowed down. So
Well,
basically,
this-
what you're doing is you're trying to pick these guys off without raising the alert. If you're too messy about your approach or you're too unstealthy about it, you could risk off. You see, some guys have become curious now. They're going to go and investigate. This is actually kind of cool. This is where we kind of encourage the creativity. So this guy got distracted because he heard something. Another guy was looking down, shoot the glass out, kill them both. But as the kind of little finisher there, shoot the fan, speed it up, dispose of both of the bodies at the same time. There's tons of stuff throughout the level that's all like
Okay.
this.
I was wondering
And
if he was going to get sucked into the fan, and which way is it going to go?
so here's another one as well. You can see
Yeah.
you're actually zoomed in on the power supply at the top there. He kind of gets distracted, but then gets electrocuted at the same time. So there's accident kills, there's body disposals, everything you would expect from the Hitman franchise is here. And it's really just about
That man's going
how-
for a swim. That man's going for a swim.
This
My
guy's
prediction.
definitely going for a swim. He's like a sitting
dad.
duck there. Look at that. I'm going to use supersonic rounds. Supersonic rounds allow you to hit your target instantly, so they get rid of the lead time that you need to aim your shots.
Okay.
And we got a whole bunch of power-ups in the game. We got a ton of different weapons, all with different personalities. And now you complete the contract by killing the mark. You bank your score, and any of the missions that you might have been doing along the way. There was one there for 3 body disposals.
So does it matter then if you kill your mark before you kill any of the guards? Like, why did you kill the
If you
guards?
kill the mark before you've killed any of the other guards, that's it. That's contract complete. So what you want to try and do is, because it's a high-score game, you want to try and kill as many of the guys throughout the scene as you possibly can in order to get the high score, and then the mark is like the last guy that you always take out.
Gotcha. Now, what that reminded me the most, and it might remind a lot of people watching of the most, is if you've never played Hitman Go, you
Yeah.
might remember the Hitman Sniper Challenge.
Correct.
Which was it Xbox Live Arcade, or was it just
It was Xbox and PC.
and PC? Right.
Yeah.
That's when you were shooting the marks in a very similar way, but there was
That's
also
it.
pigeons as well that you could try and shoot.
That's
That
it,
was
yeah.
really fun. So it looks very much like you've kind of basically brought that to tablet devices, which
Absolutely.
is great.
I mean, we really like what they've done with Sniper Challenge, what the guys at IO have done. They're a very creative bunch of guys. And we thought that if we're going to deliver an experience for tablet, it has to be done right. So there's no point taking something like a fully fledged Hitman game and trying to get all the controls on the screen, or even like a complex sniping game. You look at some of the competitors on iOS, there's lots of dials and buttons and so on, right?
Yeah.
So essentially all we wanted to do is take what they've done in Sniper Challenge and expand it out to a lot of different types of contracts, different types of gameplay, and a lot of replayability. I mean, from that one level that you've seen there's 150 different missions for that one level. And then even when you finished all of those, you still got all like pushing the leaderboard, earning more cash, upgrading your weapons, getting more boosters, and things like that.
So how many levels are there then? If we've just seen that
We've
one
got two contracts to start off with. The one you saw there was
Yeah.
from Montenegro.
Okay.
There's another one in the pipe at the moment, so we'll be launching worldwide with 2 contracts. And then what we want to do is really work with the community, work with Hitman fans, work with guys that are fans of our game. And we're really going to be listening to what people like. If they want us to do like reenactment of a classic Hitman hit, we'll do that, right? We'll take you back to New Orleans or to an opera house. We're perfectly happy to do that. But if we want something new, we really want to, after this game's been in the market for a while, it's going to be constantly evolving. We're going to be finessing things along the way. So we just want to make sure that we go where the players want us to go.
Okay. So how does this fit in then with the kind of wider Hitman lore? Because Hitman's been a game around for a long time, is a really hard following. I mean, so do you like tap into that story in any way? How does it
No,
fit?
we actually have kept it very, very light. This is just to show you this here.
Oh, you
this
set
is
the alarm
actually
off.
another domino kill. We've set off the car alarm, lured 2 guys together, and again, you get the 2 for 1 there, which is always good for a laugh.
Nice.
But no, in terms of narrative, we've left it kind of narrative light a little bit. This could be one of the earliest hits of 47's career. It could be one of the later ones. It could be the last one he ever does. The guys at IO, they're very much more, they got more narrative horsepower than we have. We just delivered a great gameplay experience. So it's almost like once you start playing the different types of contracts, it's almost like the greatest hits.
Cool. Well, guys, if you're watching at home and you have any questions about Hitman Sniper, then the best thing to do would be to tweet at me, at CamFrazRob, right now, and it'll appear on my laptop here, and I can throw the question to Ollie. So that's at CamFrazRob, CamFrazRob. There may well be a little lower third appearing on screen any moment. But, Ollie,
Yes.
what made you decide to basically try to bring Hitman to iOS, and to Android, to touch devices? What was that decision? Was it just following on from, I guess you had Hitman Go before.
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to see, we think Agent 47 is an awesome character, and that, more people need to, we wanted to kind of diversify the brand and just make everyone, give the opportunity to kind of get into his shoes. So for us, the sniping experience on a tablet device, they seem to kind of match up really well with one another, and we really wanted to give Agent 47, introduce him to more people. Square Enix Montreal was kind of set up in the first place to do AAA, and we were going to be doing the follow-up to Absolution.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we realized that in order to diversify the brand, we can have shorter development time and deliver lots of different types of experiences to an entirely new audience that may never have heard of the Hitman franchise or of Agent 47. So it seemed like a better track for us to kind of diversify the brand.
So here we're seeing some of the kind of various menus things. So can you customize your weapons in any way?
Yep, there's tons of stuff you can do. You see on the left-hand side there, or you could see on the left-hand side, all the different types of scoring opportunities that you have. The higher your scores and the more missions, there we go, the higher the scores and the more missions that you complete, you actually level up each one of your weapons as you play with them.
Oh, right, okay.
And as you level up the weapons, they get more slots for abilities, they get new skills, they'll give you kind of little tweaks to your score. And then at the bottom there, where it's underneath where it says targets eliminated, you have the what we call our roulette. For every key target that you take out throughout the level, you get rewarded a part for these blueprints that you're actually completing.
Okay.
So you actually assemble your weapons as you go through the game. Now, as I mentioned before, all the weapons have different personalities. They've all got different reload speeds, different timings. Yep. They all feel a different kind of weight. They all got different personalities. So it's really up to you about how you want to take take which weapon you want to take with you and how you want to customize it for your style of play.
Cool. All right, we're getting some questions flooding in on Twitter.
All right,
so
cool.
let's take some of these. So what have we got? So George is asking, are there different types of snipers, or are you always the same sniper? And is the guns where you get your, as we
It's
just
the guns where you
discussed,
get the diversity.
Okay,
We've got a
that's
whole
cool.
bunch of guns in there, but you always play 47.
Okay, cool. Oh, it's an interesting one. Any chance you could put Hitman Sniper on PlayStation Vita? That's coming from user Keenlan.
At the moment, we're targeting iOS and Android, but Vita is something that we'll definitely look into later on down the line.
I mean, do you think it's the type of game that would go well to anything like PC, anything where you have more than just a touch screen? So say, would you think about bringing it to PC as well? I mean, these are all just conversations further down the line.
These are all conversations that we're going to have further down the line.
That's
We'll see
fine.
how this. We'll see how successful the game is first, and then
so far
nothing is impossible.
Basing on the highly scientific Twitter comments, I can see that lots of people are quite keen to see this and other things as well. That's cool. So you said you've got 2 different scenarios, 2 different maps, and then different types of missions within those maps,
Yeah.
right? So what other types of missions have we got? So there was a target there. Are there more kind of complicated, more nuanced missions than just shooting a target?
The interesting thing about Montenegro that you just saw, both of our contracts are like they have this same kind of spine. So you start off with the Mark, which is Marcus Krug in Montenegro.
Yeah.
As you play through the game, what happens is you actually unlock new marks. So
you unlock new marks.
You unlock new characters to take down. There's a lot of civilians in the scene to start off with, and as the ICA start getting intel on who's on the site, they actually start to say, okay, this guy's a criminal, that girl there is a criminal, she's also wanted, and you actually discover that this is kind of like a viper's nest of criminals, and Marcus Krug is like the kingpin of all of them. So you get a lot of variation every time you play through. We shuffle whichever mark it is that you need to take down to end your contract, but everyone else that you have intel on before that actually remains a valid target and is worth more points to you. So the whole level evolves as you carry on playing through. For the missions themselves, you've got some ones that start off very, very simple, almost like tutorializing the game. And because it's a leaderboard-driven game and we really want players to play with one another, we've got some real quite tough challenges towards the end of these missions.
Well, I can't wait to see how that turns out when it comes out this fall. It is fall, right?
It's
or autumn, if you're a Brit like I am.
Autumn, yes, of course.
Fantastic. Well, Ollie, it's been a pleasure having you on the comfortable
Absolutely.
sofa. I'm sorry I'm going to have to ask you to leave the comfy sofa in just a minute, but it is incredibly nice. I'm going to stay in my orange chair.